Steelers Nation, what's up? The black and gold are in full off-season mode, and you better believe the front office is working hard to put this team in the best position for success in 2025. We all know that last season had its ups and downs, but the Steelers are making moves to ensure that the upcoming season is one to remember. And with the first big QB domino falling, things are about to get really interesting. But before we break it all down, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Steelers updates. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the big news. Matthew Stafford is staying in Los Angeles. Yep, after all the rumors, the trade speculation, and even reports that Las Vegas Raiders co-owner Tom Brady was trying to recruit him, Stafford has agreed to a restructured contract with the Rams, keeping him in LA for at least 2025. The exact terms of the contract haven't been released yet, but this officially takes one major QB name off the market. Now, what does this mean for the Steelers? Well, Pittsburgh was one of the teams that reportedly checked in on Stafford's availability, but according to KOA Colorado's Benjamin Albright, Stafford wasn't really interested in coming to Pittsburgh, or Cleveland for that matter. The teams that pushed the hardest for him? The New York Giants and the Raiders. But now that he's staying in LA, the Giants have immediately turned their attention to none other than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you heard that right. According to CBS Sports, Jonathan Jones, Rodgers has already made multiple calls to the Giants, testing the waters to see if there's mutual interest. Meanwhile, other sources, including The Athletic's Michael Silver, report that the Giants are also considering Russell Wilson and Sam Darnold, two names that could very well impact the Steelers' plans moving forward. So where does Pittsburgh stand in all of this? Well, the quarterback market is shifting fast, and Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have some big decisions to make. At this point, the Steelers have three main options. Re-sign Russell Wilson. Wilson has made it clear that Pittsburgh is his top priority, but there's competition. The Raiders, led by Pete Carroll, Wilson's former coach in Seattle, are reportedly interested in bringing him to Vegas. That could complicate things. Make a move for Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears are expected to move on from Fields. And while there's been no direct link between him and the Steelers, Fields could be a cheaper, younger option with plenty of upside. The problem? The Raiders and the New York Jets are also eyeing Fields. Stick with Mason Rudolph. Let's not forget that Mason Rudolph played some solid football down the stretch last season. He's a free agent, but could he be the answer for 2025? It's a possibility, and it might be the easiest and most cost-effective route for the Steelers. Omar Khan spoke on Tuesday about the Steelers' quarterback situation, and he made it clear that his goal is to have one of these guys locked in before the new league year starts. Translation? We're going to get an answer sooner rather than later. Now that Stafford is off the board, it's only a matter of time before the next big move happens. Aaron Rodgers' future with the Jets is hanging in the balance. The Raiders and Giants are scrambling for their next QB, and the Steelers have to make a decision before other teams beat them to the punch. Personally, I think the best move for Pittsburgh is to bring Russell Wilson back on a team-friendly deal. He played well in his limited time last season, he's got a veteran presence, and he's already familiar with this offense. But I also understand why some fans might want the Steelers to go after a younger guy like Fields, or even roll with Mason Rudolph for one more year. After missing out on Matthew Stafford, the Las Vegas Raiders are looking for a new QB, and guess what? They've set their sights on not one but two Steelers quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. That's right. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Raiders are now major players in the market for both of our guys. Russell Wilson's connection to the Raiders makes a lot of sense. Their new head coach, Pete Carroll, was Wilson's coach in Seattle for a decade, and together they won Super Bowl XOE. It wouldn't be shocking if Carroll wants to reunite with Wilson in Vegas. Meanwhile, the Raiders also reportedly had interest in Justin Fields before the Bears traded him to Pittsburgh last season. With a new front office in charge, they could very well revisit that idea. So where does that leave the Steelers? At the NFL Combine, General Manager Omar Khan made it clear that Pittsburgh wants to lock up either Wilson or Fields before free agency begins on March 12th. But with the Raiders lurking, they might have to move quickly. If the Steelers only keep one of them, there's a real chance the other ends up wearing silver and black next season. As if the QB situation wasn't enough drama, the Steelers might also be losing ground in their search for a top-tier wide receiver. Two big names who were rumored to be on Pittsburgh's radar, T. Higgins and Chris Godwin, are looking less and less likely to be available. The Cincinnati Bengals are expected to franchise tag T. Higgins for the second straight season. There have been some rumblings about whether Higgins actually wants to stay in Cincinnati, but at this point the Bengals seem determined to keep him. That takes one of the biggest WR names off the board. Then there's Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay. Buccaneers general manager Jason Licht recently said that the team wants to keep Godwin and hopes to work out a deal. In other words, another potential Steelers target could be slipping away. Godwin has been a dominant force for the Buccaneers, second only to Mike Evans in franchise history for receptions, yards, and touchdowns. The guy is a proven playmaker, and it would have been exciting to see him in the black and gold. However, it's looking more and more like Tampa Bay won't let him walk in free agency. All right, Steelers Nation, here's where things get interesting. The team still has plenty of moves to make, and the next few weeks are going to be crucial in shaping the 2025 roster. Whether it's securing a quarterback, finding another weapon in the passing game, or adding depth on defense, Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have some big decisions ahead. If the Steelers can't land a superstar WR in free agency, they might have to turn to the draft. The 2025 draft class has some promising wide receiver talent, and Pittsburgh could use one of their top picks to add a young, dynamic playmaker to pair with George Pickens. As for the quarterback situation, things are still up in the air. Do the Steelers re-sign Russell Wilson? Do they commit to Justin Fields? Could they shock everyone and go after a different veteran QB? With the Raiders in the mix, Pittsburgh might have to act fast to make sure they don't lose out on their preferred option. What do you think the Steelers should do at quarterback? Should they go all in on Russell Wilson? Take a chance on Justin Fields? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Steelers news and analysis. We've got a wild offseason ahead, and you won't want to miss a thing. I'll catch you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers. Let's get it.